Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we look at what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now today I want to talk about LNG and how Russia's taking the sanctions by the US head on. Now Russia's apparently started shipping LNG that's been sanctioned from the Arctic LNG plant, which was hit by the tough sanctions earlier this year. Now traders are watching with interest as gas carriers approach the plant and head west. Now what kind of ships are they and where are they going, and why will it be so much harder to get around the sanctions on LNG than it was about getting around them on oil? Well, as a result of the sanctions, no LNG has yet been exported from the new plant, but apparently Novatek's been testing a way around the sanctions in the same way as it watched what Russia did with oil. I mean, there's already rumours that someone's buying up gas tankers on the world market, presumably in the interest of Russia to create a shadow fleet, just like they did with oil. Now, the tracking system on shipping has shown that 2 gas tankers from the shadow fleet have started exporting LNG from the LNG plant LNG2. Now, the first Pioneer has already reached the Mediterranean. That means either the gas carrier will take a risk and go through the Suez Canal. The question is, will the Americans prevent the passage? Although formally the tanker and its owners are not under sanction, so it's possible to accept money from it for the passage through the Suez Canal, but will they do that? Or the tanker will try and unload somewhere, say Turkey or one of the North African countries like Tunisia. But most likely the tanker will go through the canal and head somewhere in Asia, for example China, says Igor Yushkov, who's an analyst at the Russian Financial University and a member of the National Security Fund. Now before I continue, I'd like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund my channel and the website SCOBRICSinsight.com by making a small donation, and that's done by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the video screen. Everybody who donates does get a personal thank you from me, and I'm giving you all a personal thank you now for just watching the video. Now the second gas tanker, SCO Energy, was spotted on satellite imagery at the Arctic LNG 2 facility last weekend, and it's now following the path of the first, and it's also heading west. Now both ships list their destinations as on request, and the draft data, which indicates their depth below the waterline and gives an indication of their cargo, has not been updated, so we don't even know exactly are they fully loaded. And they may also switch off their transponders as they approach their destinations. Now what kind of ships are they? What are they doing and where are they going? Now Novatek's apparently followed the path of the oil company and is building its own shadow fleet by buying gas tankers on the secondary market. Now the Pioneer gas tanker was built in 2005 and SCO Energy in 2002, so they're far from new ships, according to Marcel Salikov, who's a director of the Centre of Economic Expertise at the Higher School of Economics. Now the Pioneer gas tanker was previously owned by the Chinese Jovo Group, while SCO Energy belonged to a Nigerian company. Now these vessels were recently sold to new owners and are now owned by independent foreign companies which have started to transport Russian LNG, says Salnikov. Now the tanker is operated by an Indian company established in June and owned by a company from the United Arab Emirates. Now who the real beneficiaries are of these companies aren't really known, says Sergei Kaufman, who's an analyst at FG Fina. I mean, as we already know, Russia's tried using a shadow fleet to circumvent the sanctions on Russian oil, and it's done so very, very successfully. So it's logical to apply it to the gas sector. However, it is much more difficult to evade sanctions on LNG than on oil. First challenges are the logistics and the fleet for transporting LNG. Unlike oil, LNG has to be transported from the Arctic, so special ice-class tankers are needed. First, Novatek needs to assemble several dozen conventional tankers to form a fully fledged shadow fleet for exporting LNG. Now the gas carrier market is much smaller than the oil tanker market, so that's going to make it more difficult to buy them. mean, currently there's less than 1,000 gas carriers in operation, while there's tens of thousands of oil tankers, says Salnikov. Secondly, the main problem is ice-class carriers are needed for winter navigation, and it's impossible to buy them on the secondary market as they don't actually exist. I mean, there's no Arctic 7 gas carriers in the world except for the 15 built for the Yamal LNG, and then the other 15 that have been ordered from the Russian Zvezda shipyard. But so far, they've promised to deliver only 2 of them by the beginning of next year, says Yushkov. In the summer, now as Arctic LNG 2 can be transported by conventional gas tankers, but for year-round transportation you need Arctic class because nothing else will work because of the thickness of the ice. Therefore, it's important that the project receives these 2 Arctic 7 gas carriers from Zvezda. In the winter, the ice situation will tighten even in the western part of the Northern Sea route and in the Gulf of Ob. That's why I think that in the future, Novatek will start using the LNG terminal in the Murmansk region, which is already in, but it's also under sanctions. With the help of those 2 Arctic 7 tankers it will get from Zvezda, it can deliver gas to Murmansk, load it into storage tanks from where the non-ice class tankers can pick it up and transport it to the Asian markets through the Suez Canal or around Africa. So the ice-class tankers can operate as a shuttle service, transporting LNG from the Gaidan Peninsula to the Murmansk region and back again. Then there'll be less need for the ice-class tankers than just for regular gas carriers that are still on the market that they can buy, says Yushkov. Now the second problem is finding buyers for the project's sanctioned LNG. US sanctions on oil are softer than those on Arctic LNG. I mean, the US didn't ban anybody from buying Russian oil, and only the EU itself actually refused to buy it. But globally, they've banned not only the transport of oil if it costs more than $60 a barrel. However, the liability for violating transport is not that much of a problem. But with Arctic LNG, all contacts are prohibited, including the prohibition of buying it. Now, according to Sergei Kaufman of LNG, taking oil as an example, we see Chinese and Indian buyers are prepared to work with sanctioned companies if they offer a discount on the product. And I think that's going to be the case with similar with Russian LNG. It'll be sold at a discount. At the end of the day, greed overcomes fear. And I mean, the US might wave its big sanction stick, but doesn't use it. Finally, the third problem is technological, which was avoided during the first stage of Arctic LNG, as all the Baker Hughes turbines were delivered before the sanctions. There were not enough turbines for the second stage of the plant, so it was decided to build a power plant using Russian turbines, which the third situation is not that complicated because the new turbines and the prefabricated modules from China have been delivered on time. So that's caused numerous problems, but they've all been overcome. And any new LNG projects will be using the new technology developed by Russia. So Novatek's found solutions to all of those problems. So now it's just the new scheme for exporting LNG and finding the buyers for the new sanctioned project. Now these projects come through, which we think they will, and then it will give a green light to the emergence of further LNG plants and further weaken the sanctions. I mean, let's be honest, Arctic LNG is going to survive. Sanctions made it difficult to build the new facilities and transport it to customers. But even if it operates in a limited format and not all the year round, it means that Russia's still competing and on price and on quality, and the suitable gas carriers will continue to become available. So we expect the first 2 trains of LNG to be launched within the next couple of years against the backdrop of growing demand for LNG. So Russia continues to move forward at the best efforts of the US to destroy and derail its commodities sector are not working. So yet another nail in the coffin of the US and its hegemony. Now thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you can help me fund the channel and the website by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.